Hey there, this is Clay with ModernLove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not. Because you, of course, deserve to be loved for the person that you are, the unique, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. And so today we're going to be talking about current events. We're talking about breakups and COVID. I guess it's okay for me to talk about that overtly now. I don't know. We'll see how this video does. But I don't like making videos on current events because number one, current events are really insane these days, but also they just tend to not do as well as videos on relationship stuff. But given light of everything that's happening in the world, I think that it is absolutely important to address current events, especially as they relate to relationships. So you may remember that I think it was a couple months ago, I was going over this article about how as China was, easing their restrictions on their citizens, that there was this wave of divorce filings that were coming into the divorce filing office, whatever. And apparently it was so bad that the clerks that were working at this office were just so inundated with people wanting to get divorced after spending however long it was, a month or two or whatever, quarantined with their spouse, that they just wanted to, get the divorce. And they just didn't even have time to actually get up and go to the bathroom, the clerks that were filing all this paperwork. And so I saw that as maybe a grim prognosticator of things to come here in the United States, in the West, in other countries, all that sort of stuff. Because, we have a global audience, but still, I think at least according to my YouTube statistics dashboard thing that I can see when I log in and stuff, most of you are from the United States. So, not looking too promising, and we're starting to get some evidence that it may not actually be too promising. When this first happened, when this whole pandemic thing started, I wasn't sure how it would really affect relationships. There was a part of me that thought it could make the relationship stronger. It could help pull people through together. Maybe sort of like the holiday effect. If you've been following me for long enough, you know that during the holidays, like from Thanksgiving, basically end of November if you're not from the United States, but from Thanksgiving through to Christmas and even into like New Year's, there's actually kind of a dip in breakups. That's not to say that they don't happen, they totally do, but a lot of couples, I think, just try to get through the holiday season because they want to make it work. They want to put on a good front for the family and all that stuff, and they don't want to be the person that dumps someone, right before Christmas. And, we also kind of get this same little thing in the first 2 weeks of the first 2 weeks of February as well, too, leading up to Valentine's Day. And I thought that, maybe as things got really weird, that people might kind of pull it together and keep their relationship strong through this whole bizarre situation that we're all living through. And that's not to say that some people haven't. I've heard stories about people who have grown closer together. And I think that my wife and I have grown closer together through this whole experience. You'd have to ask her, though, for verification on that. But I think that overall, it's been weighing on a lot of relationships and a lot of people. And, just as a coach, I've started to see some people who have had, breakups that occurred kind of during the whole lockdown, during the whole pandemic sort of situation. At first, it was really just people who had breakup situations that had started before things got super crazy. But now I'm starting to actually get some initial waves of people that broke up during lockdown, because of quarantines and closures and stay-at-home orders and shelter-in-place orders and all that stuff. So we actually are starting to get some real news, though, some real news. So I was watching the local news here in Seattle, where I live, the other day, and they mentioned that there was a mattress store. They were interviewing this person from a mattress store, and the owner of the store said that a good chunk of the new customers that she was getting were people that were going through a divorce or a breakup or a separation, and because of that they needed to get an extra mattress for their new apartment, or to sleep in the other room, or whatever the case may be. And so that, I think, is more indication that like this wave of challenging difficulty is starting to reach us here, and we are probably going to be seeing an elevated level of breakups and separations and divorces as well too, if we haven't already. I mean, we're still new to all of this, so we're still gathering data on how this is all going to unfold, but it doesn't look promising. And so this is really the importance of what we talk about on this YouTube channel and in our work. Really learning how to manage your emotions, really learning how to deal with them, really learning how to communicate clearly, be on the same team, all that sort of stuff. Because this is totally critical things for making a relationship strong and survive and thrive through difficult times such as what we are apparently living through right now. So now is a great time to work on that. Now is a great time to work through your own emotions, work through any issues that you have, whether or not you're actually in a relationship or going through a breakup or single, or having a relationship that is going well, or maybe it's not going well at all. I don't know. But now is the time to do that, because we don't know what the future holds for sure. Let's just say right now, I could see there being a lot more strife and challenge and difficulty in the world. But we don't know. We don't know. And so you want to get this stuff figured out, because if you do, I think you can actually have these challenging situations, and they can help you and your partner come closer together and bond closer together and connect more closely with one another. And you can come out of this situation, or maybe other future world challenges that we may face, knock on wood, actually as a stronger couple because of it. I do think that in a lot of ways, this whole lockdown experience has caused me and my wife and my family and my daughter to, come closer together. Yes, it has been challenging at times, but I do think that it has been a net positive for us as a family. And so I do credit a lot of that to me having worked through a lot of my issues over the many years, obviously before this pandemic happened. Of course, I'm still a work in progress. Of course, I still have my own things that I need to work through on my own. But let's just say I've come a long way from where I used to be. And I think that it just is reflected in the fact that we've been able to, hold it together pretty well through this whole situation. And, I think it's kind of sad, actually, that relationships or marriages or things like that can't survive, just not being able to go out to like a restaurant or a bar or something like that for a couple weeks or months. You'd think that you love someone and you want to be together with that person and you want to have a life with them. You'd think that you'd be able to find a way to make it work. But unfortunately, when we're basically at home all the time with the same person, little things that they do can start to get under your skin. And if you don't know the difference between whether this is something that you're willing to go to bat for, whether this is something that's really worth taking a stand for, or whether it's something that you just want to let slide, then it's easy for things to kind of escalate and for you to, get upset with someone out just over like the dumbest things, like the way you smack your lips when you eat cheese too much, or, it's just like the dumbest things. And so we don't want that to happen. And so you got to work through this stuff. You got to build up that emotional toughness and resilience, and really make it so that you can handle challenging times. Okay. So right now I'm in the process of going through a new course that I'm putting together with some people. It's called Effortless Connection. And I mean, you can't sign up for it now. It's essentially too late. But I did want to share with you something that I've been kind of going through with the people in that course, or something that I will be, because I just recorded the video, but you guys don't get it until next week. But I just wanted to share it with you. And that is, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see that I have a little bracelet on my wrist here. And this isn't for like fashion or anything like that. It's really to remind me to watch what I say and to choose what I go to bat for carefully. Back in 2015, I read a book called A Complaint-Free World by Will Bowen. And at the time, I was living in Bangkok, in Thailand. You know, my wife and I, we do this whole thing on the internet, and our business was starting to do well, so we decided to spend the year doing the whole digital nomad thing, and we went to all kinds of different places in Asia, and Thailand, Bangkok was one of the places that we stayed for a few months. Anyway, we were having this stupid argument one day about something just ridiculous, like whose turn it was to do the dishes or something like that. And in some self-righteous rage, I left the apartment that we were staying in, and I went down to the lobby, and I sat there for a while, just kind of, self-righteously looking on my phone to come up with reasons why complaining was really bad for you or something like that, because in my opinion, this whole argument happened because my wife was complaining. And so what I ended up finding was this book, A Complaint-Free World by Will Bowen. And I downloaded it and I got it. And the basic premise, I mean, it's a good book. You can probably read it for a lot of great benefits in your life. I'm not going to go over all of the benefits because, of course, it's in the book. And obviously, the author of the book would probably do a better job of explaining it than me. But the main premise is you want to go on a 21-day challenge to see if you can go 21 consecutive days in a row without complaining. And you're having this bracelet on your wrist to remind you of that. And every time you do complain, if you don't make it 21 days, if you make it like 3 days or something, and then you have a complaint, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take the bracelet off, and you're supposed to move it to the opposite wrist, and then start the 21 days over again. And so you're supposed to do this, and it's going to, theoretically you can do it in 21 days. But I think in the book he said the average person takes like 6 or 8 months or something to do it. It took me about 4 months to do it the first time. It's not because I'm special or anything. It's because I happened to be living in Asia at the time, where, let's just say, English fluency is not necessarily super great in all the places. And so there's not really a whole lot of people to complain to. So basically, because I didn't have a whole lot of people to talk to, I was able to do it faster. But you want to do it for 21 days. And the main thing that you're going to get out of it, there's a lot of things in the book that you're going to benefit from. But the thing that I got the most out of it was I learned how to choose my battles. Is it really worth complaining about something and knowing that I'm going to have to take this bracelet off, put it on the opposite wrist, and start over again for 21 days? If it is, cool, let's do it. But if it's not, let's just let it roll off our back. And that is kind of the main thing that I got from that whole experience. And I think it has helped me to work through some of my own emotional issues. So it is something that I would encourage you to do. You can just get some random bracelet like this. They have like their own official bracelets if you go to the Complaint-Free World website or something like that. I don't know. But, I was in Asia at the time, so I didn't have a mailing address, so I couldn't just order some. So I just got this bracelet at a street market, and that works fine. Like, you can obviously use anything, not the official bracelet, unless you really want to. But that's what I'd recommend that you try to do to start to cultivate some emotional strength, some emotional toughness in light of everything that's going on. So I hope that helps you out. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you are doing well out there with everything going on in the world. And if you do like this video, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It does help us out. It does tell YouTube that this is good stuff, that you should, show this video to more people. And please go ahead and do that. Also, if you're not in our free Facebook group called The Committed Couple, you can find a link for that down below in the description box below this video. Anyway, thank you so much. Have a great weekend and take care.